and welcome back to my channel. Today we have a TikTok video from Phillip Cospy, and it's very interesting why I chose it, but not surprisingly. As you know, as some of you may be aware, I have over 20 years experience working in the auto industry, 10 plus years as a senior manager, and I am a very big advocate for the auto industry itself, particularly mechanics, because I think mechanics help put the food on our table and help to maintain our infrastructure in the little that they do, or they think that they do, but people don't acknowledge them for the grave sacrifice that they have done to us over a number of years. Now, I've also muted this video so you can actually look at it and concentrate on the video itself before we get into some of the things that I've picked up while watching this video. Now, you have this gentleman working what appears to be a truck, right? And why I say that is because it's large, obviously, and it has so many components under it. Now, he's installing what seems to be a propeller shaft. As you may not be aware, a propeller shaft is what is used to connect the transfer box to the rear diff, and most trucks, light trucks, minivans, and so forth are indeed rear wheel drive. So the propeller shaft is connected to the rear diff, and the rear diff drives the rear wheels that gives the power for the truck to move forward. Some vehicles actually use two shafts, whether it's a all-wheel drive, a four-wheel drive, or just simply a rear-wheel drive vehicle. So why some will use two shafts is that the front shaft is connected from the engine to the transfer box. The transfer box controls the four-wheel drive mechanism in order for the vehicle to have stability on the road and to have the much needed power to facilitate the weight that it's carrying, and for skid control purposes as well. It helps with that to give the needed power for all the wheels to function as one. Now, if you look closely at this video, you have this gentleman lying down on his back using his leg or his foot, because surprisingly this gentleman appears to only have one leg. Now, I mean, I lift my hats off to this gentleman, because he's doing whatever it takes to get the job done. Mind you, he is risking his life because there is a number of safety violations here, right? He's not in a garage setting, as you may see, because there are no lifts around. And if you look all the way down the back, he's lying down on the ground. The truck is not hoisted on a lift itself. There is no stand for him to facilitate holding that propeller shaft in place while he tries to connect the bolts of the shaft onto the transfer box that he's trying to fit it in. He may have replaced the diff mount. He may have serviced the transfer box itself. Who knows? However, seeing that he's doing whatever it takes by using his one leg to hold the propeller shaft in place while he uses his hand, and he has absolutely no help, right? Now, if you go a little further into this video and you try to break it down, say for instance, you're assuming about his life. This is an average man that you're looking at. And this is what average people do. They work. They get the job done. They do whatever it takes in order to put bread on the table. Not illegally or trying to scam anyone. But look at what this man is doing. Now, to throw some argument into this, look at his clothing. All sweaty, all greasy, all dirty, and that's his working clothes. And mind you, mechanics make good money. between when they started, when they just start out as an apprentice or something like that. I'm speaking from my experience in Toronto here. They will start out between $18 to $20 as an apprentice, and as they go through the various training programs, it increases in increments based on the flat rate system that they're working with at their respective dealerships or garage. Now, a good dealership, if a mechanic is working at a good dealership, and when I say a good dealership that is practicing benchmarking, a good dealership that is doing best practices, they're always sticking to the basics. They know what is to be done. They do their action plan. They do their marketing plan. They have their training programs in place. They are engaging their customers. They know exactly what it is to have an efficient turnover, and the vehicles are coming in. The numbers they are continually meeting their targets. Mechanics within those environments make good money because the cars are coming in. Now, on the other hand, if you have some garages that only rely on the individual customer to just walk in, then there is going to be a struggle. However, in order for some to maintain profitability in their environment, there has to be a need for customer retention. But I will speak a little more about that in my coming videos. Now, social media has made it easier for this gentleman to avoid the embarrassment of people looking down on him. He can now, stand where he is, use his cell phone, and conduct his business. And why I say this is because having worked in the auto industry when I was at a particular dealership working, and mechanics will usually come in because they're working on a car, they're fixing one problem, and then they discover that something else needs to be done. They will in turn communicate that problem to the customer, and the customer will give them the go ahead whether or not to replace that part or have it fixed. So they would have to leave whatever they're doing, go to an auto shop or another garage or another facility to get that part, and then once they walk in, that persons will be looking at them in a particular way. But I didn't do that. As a matter of fact, if you watch one of my videos in the listing below, you will see I had an interview with a mechanic named Basil Saunders, and he will tell you that when he used to come to my dealership to do business and I saw him, I will take him out the line, bring him to my office, have him sit down, and I will take his list and get his parts myself. And Basil was just like this guy. Basil was working on trucks. Basil was working on vans. Basil was actually doing the runaround for his company in order to get the job done. And the work that he did, he gained so much experience and knowledge over the years. Basil went on to become a fleet manager in one of the largest resort group in the Caribbean. So it doesn't end there. It all depends on hard work, determination, and your drive and the passion to stick it out. The success won't come overnight. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to unmute this video and I'm going to play the sound of this video, and then you can determine whether or not my comments will actually motivate you to say something else.
If a man is at home all the time and he's the breadwinner, that's a bad sign. And the problem with being a father is you can never get it 100. If I give you time, we don't have money. If I get the money, you don't have me. I can't be there and earn a living at the same time. I'm limited, and I have an obligation to make sure your life is better than mine. That's part of it. Am I right? The difficult thing about being a father is that everybody wants it now. The kid wants it now, The wife wants it now. The job wants it now. The opportunity is now, because in your early years are your earning years.
Let me know what you think. Share your thoughts, your comments, your advice, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Have a good night.